Hey, welcome to Everything But the Scores with Danny Giles. My name is Danny Giles. Today is July 12th, 2022. We took last week off because it was 4th of July, and I panicked, and I was in New York City, and I was convinced I wouldn't get back because every flight got canceled, except ours. So I did make it back, but I don't know if you guys have heard. The flight world is a problem right now, and everything costs so much. As always, subscribe, rate, comment, tell a friend, be a friend. I'm gonna be more aggressive with my postings because it's been really fun. And also, so many people sent me stories this week. We had probably the most stories I've ever received, and it meant a lot. And I was really appreciative. Joining us, first off, my co-producer, co-host, friend, no cop for everybody.
Yay, hello. Good to see you, Fred.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm living. I'm out here.
Do you have your camera set up?
Yeah, it's right there.
Are people catching your ridiculous shirt?
I'm a proud aunt of a 2021 senior graduate, baby.
What is the rest of it? Find all your behind you all your memories, before you all your dreams, around you all who love you, within you all you need. Just one of those shirts that you're like, why?
It's sad that it's so recent.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened to this person? They were a proud aunt last year.
They're proud aunt, and then with sometime between last year when they were a very proud aunt and this year, Goodwill got involved. The shirt was Goodwill enough.
Yeah. The aunt found out they were going to like clown college or something, and they're like, I'm not a proud aunt of this graduate anymore.
Been there. Sometimes we have a guest on the show. Sometimes we don't. Today we have ourselves a guest. And it's a great guest. You might know him from Sherman's Showcase, formerly on IFC, presently about to be, in the future, on AMC. He also has a podcast called The Inconsistent Podcast with Rob Haze. His name is Rob Haze, everybody.
Yeah.
Your
That's
energy
good.
is so... Anytime you do anything remotely big, it makes me laugh so much.
Yeah, I don't have control over it. In my head, I'm Martin Lawrence, Chris Tucker, all over the place all the time. And then people are like, man, you're so deadpan. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I'm deadpan?
Pretty dead. I mean, but it's great. I mean, I wish I was dead. If I don't check myself, I turn into a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Like, I have very cartoon character energy sometimes.
You ever go, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. All the time on stage, like I'll watch videos of myself, and like if I'm like unfocused and just like really like in a goofy mood, I'll like watch tape back, and I'm like, and here's the thing, and it's like so big, and it's just like, and I'm like, good God, like Danny, you gotta calm it down. What are we doing? It's a problem. We're working on it. We're gonna be better about it. So wait, because we were talking ahead of time, we had a little downtime, and during the time we were talking. Among many things, you do a lot with sports. You are not because sometimes we have guests on the podcast who know nothing about sports.
Yeah,
you are not a nothing. You do a lot. You've worked in sports, and then you were saying you did warm up for the ESPYs, which is the award show for sports. The Oscars for sports, if you will.
I did warm up for the ESPYs that was in New York that got rained on.
Ooh.
So doing warm up is great. You're in front of nervous celebrities and stuff. Sun is shining.
Then it was outside.
It was outside, and then it started raining. And then it's the hardest gig on earth because you are there to like kill time during a commercial break. Meanwhile, people know they're going to be wet and soggy on television. So even the people who aren't like the stars are upset. You know, even the people who you would just get the excitement of, I can't believe I'm here. Like my family's gonna see me wet on TV. You know, and so it got super crazy. And then also, like, I was a writer on the show, so you know, I'm like hoping my bits work out and stuff. Hoping people can read the prompter through rain. It was nuts.
That's wild.
This year it's gonna be in LA, so it's gonna be inside.
There you go. Are you working on it again?
I am working on it again. Not
So-
doing warm up. I don't have great warm up energy.
I did it. I've done it for a couple of things, but I did it for one award show. I did it for the Lumiere Awards,
Okay.
which is like a tech one.
Okay. Is that for the light industry?
No, it's for like
bulbs?
VR and like it's like tech and shit and
Okay.
like animation and stuff like that. It's so first off, there's just the energy of like having to get everybody to shut up
Yeah.
is impossible. Like at those things, nobody wants to be quiet. And so I had like for this one, they were like, nobody will ever shut up. They're like, your entire job is just to get them to shut up. If they shut up, walk off the stage and we'll start the show. Because it wasn't live to air.
Wow. So your whole job was just to get everybody to
They were like, don't even think about telling a joke. Don't even contemplate telling a joke. Just get them quiet. Which like, I started in bars. So I'm like, pretty good at.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at like, I'll swallow the mic and like, I will get loud. And so, yeah, I was like, that was all I was told ahead of time. I was like, they'll never shut up. Get them to shut up. And I was like, all right.
That's crazy.
And then I walked on stage and I went, hey, you guys doing? And they all went, gah, and then dead silent.
And you're like, okay.
And I was like,
mission accomplished.
well, then I looked off to the side and the guy's like, and I was like, I did it. It's over.
yeah, I got him to shut up.
They were caught off guard. They were
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah,
I
they
guess
were
things
like,
you can't
so I
do
was like,
here.
oh, let me, all right. So like I told some jokes
Yeah.
that went over very mediocre because I had like literally told myself, do not even contemplate telling jokes.
Yeah. That's the worst when you tell yourself, don't do jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the opportunity and your brain's like, yeah, you lied to me.
You told me not to think about this. Did you play sports growing up?
I played sports as long as I could. Like, I never made a team, but football didn't have tryouts because,
Okay.
Big roster.
Oh, sure.
So I played football in high school, and our high school soccer team started my senior year. So I played
Go.
soccer varsity senior year. I can't even tell you all the positions. But I was on the team. We made the playoffs.
Wow.
We had this one guy that was like Jamaican and he was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then like every Mexican at our school was on the team. So those guys were really good. And then like my school is like 95% black. So yeah, like the rest of the guys on the team were just a bunch of black guys just having fun on the bench while these Mexican guys were just doing bicycle kicks and all kind of stuff. It was crazy.
There you go. What position do you play in football?
Football, I played by the pound as a kid, and so I played offensive line. Like you can either play by age or you can play by pound. If you play by age, you're playing with kids all different sizes. If you play by the pound, you're playing by kids that are your same size, different ages. So that's I think my parents were like play by the pound. And so I didn't learn any skill positions. And so then when I got to high school, I'm smaller than everybody. I got my height late. So then I ended up like trying to be a cornerback, but not knowing anything about.
That's also the hardest position.
Yeah.
That is like the one that everybody is like.
Yeah.
And like, I barely played. Football was the one that my parents were like, no, you're going to get hurt. So I played like flag and stuff, but they were like, you're not taking hits out there. That's insane.
They ended up moving me to outside linebacker, but it was never. I could never figure out with my body and my skill set something that.
Well, you also so when did you? So you grew like just a shit ton.
Late.
Like
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking was going to happen to me the whole time because I played basketball was like my big one.
Yeah.
But I was under 5 foot going into high school, so I was very small.
Okay.
But I was like, it's coming.
Yeah.
And then it was so didn't come. It just came in like such like a mediocre, like I guess I was over 5 foot by the end, but it's like 5'7.5" was not what we thought.
Yeah,
I thought I was going to be so good because I was like, all I've done is play small. So like the second I'm the same height as everybody else, I'm going to destroy these kids.
Yeah, I was like 5'3", most of high school, and then I like got up to like maybe 5'11", 6 foot by the end, and it was just like, man, like, and now I'm like 6'1", you know.
Yeah.
There's NBA point guards that are 6'1".
Easily.
Yeah.
Had I known,
Yeah, I'm like the one. There's like
would be different.
I'm the one that's like there's been two in history. It's like Earl Boykins and
Earl
Muggsy.
Boykins, yep.
Earl
Muggsy
Boykins,
Bogues,
Spud Webb. It's
Nate
like
Robinson.
Nate Robinson. Yeah, there's like a couple who it's like they were small. And Nate Robinson was like, I always forget how tall he was because he's not as small as you think. He's just small enough. I want to say I'm gonna go 5'10".
Really?
I could be wrong.
I don't know. I feel like
Just for his dunking ability, I felt like it was still stunning.
when he jumped over Spud, I felt like he was like just like maybe a foot or two taller than Spud.
5'9".
Yep.
Oh yeah, 5'9". Okay.
He's because I know that I've always noticed he's taller than you think he is because in our minds he's a Muggsy or a Boykins.
Yeah.
But it's just because his dunking was so good that it's like crazy he was 5'9".
Got you. Okay.
I've done this before. I've been down this rabbit hole.
Muggsy's 5'3".
Yeah, Muggsy is like insane.
Yeah, Muggsy's insane, and I just saw a meme that was like, no one his size has played that long. Like he played 14 years.
Yeah,
which
all
is
star. I want
Yeah.
to say Earl Boykins was very small, but he played for the Wizards for a hot second. Earl Boykins was a player.
he was on that Mellow Nuggets team. Mm-hmm.
He was so good. He was just but tiny.
Yeah,
I love a good tiny. It was so inspiring to me. I'd be like, it's possible.
yeah.
That and like a white guy every now and then.
Muggsy was never named an All-Star.
Wow.
Never named an All-Star, but he was an All-Star in our heart.
And he was.
Yeah.
And let's not forget he was a Monstar.
Yeah, and he was a monster. He's been laser beam, EKG,
No one talks about that.
X-ray.
Do you watch a lot of sports?
I watch a lot of sports. I was an intern for the Hawks for a second, the Atlanta
So
Hawks. Intern at the sports department at CNN. Yeah, so I watch sports for money and also have watched sports for free. Yeah.
I mean, I assume you and I are like the same, where it's like I've tried to break the comedy sports breakthrough world.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
very hard to get through.
Yeah.
Like it is. Sports does not like comedians.
Yeah, when you don't have a twin brother, it's very hard to break into the sports comedy.
Yes. It's the
World.
Sklar's got through, but it's also like every time
I thought they bust the door open. I'm
I
thinking
know.
in a post-Sklar's world, they're going to have their own sports comedy network by the time I'm in the game. No.
You talk to them now and they're like, we're still through. And we can't get anyone else through.
Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah, I have to get them on the pod because I'm like endlessly fascinated by how they got through. Every time I pitch on anything sports, they're always like,
You got anything else? And it's
yeah.
like, man.
And then you try to pitch a sports thing to non-sports. That never goes well.
Yeah. They're like, nobody knows sports. I'm like,
It's literally the most
They get
popular
governments
thing.
to build billion-dollar structures. Like Rome, they just had one Coliseum. We have like Coliseums in every major city.
You have Coliseums.
that people will find like years from now, thousands of years from now. They're gonna be like, "What was this?" And it's gonna be, the Yum Center. It's gonna be,
and you get those, and it's 5 years before they're like, we should build another Coliseum.
yeah,
We should build another one.
it's nuts.
But that's how much money sports brings into government. That's how much money having a stadium. It's how many jobs that thing creates. Like it's insane how many people work at a stadium.
A person who can afford to buy it tells a government, hey, get all these people who make way less to chip in on this thing.
And it works.
Yeah.
And it works.
It works.
And then you go into a Hollywood meeting and they're like, it's just like not, we just don't think it never works. And I'm like, it does. It works every time. It couldn't be more popular.
The Falcons demolished a historic church from the Civil War in order to build Mercedes-Benz Stadium, like a monument. And they were like, "This is in the way. We got to have places for people to park."
It's not even the stadium. It's just the parking lot. They're like, we gotta have the park. It's easy access.
We have a giant sculpture of a falcon that we have to put right.
It's hard. I mean, listen, you can't even imagine the things FedEx Field destroyed. Commanders. I mean, we've destroyed countless. Native American, God knows. And for what? To have a stadium. The other day, RFK Stadium, my old stadium, caught on fire.
Oh no!
And there was, I mean, it was like, but because of that, someone had like a video in the stadium of like what an old, like when you see like a broken down stadium that had no one's been in the stadium in 5 years. It's just this massive stadium that's just unkept, disgusting. It's crazy to see.
I bet.
You're just like, oh wow, they didn't even destroy it. They haven't destroyed it. It's just up and just animals live in it.
Yeah.
Like the Oakland A's stadium.
Remember when the Minnesota one collapsed?
Yeah.
Because of snow, and then they got a Super Bowl? They're like, I guess we got to go there for the Super Bowl now. They got a new stadium.
Hey, yeah. Oh.
That's the carrot. They're like, you want a Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
You want the world to like pay attention to your city?
You see SoFi.
You got to get a new
They
stadium.
built a stadium out here that is,
Yeah.
Have you been to SoFi?
Yes. I've gotten lost trying to find my car at SoFi. And you think it's not a circle. It's built like a ram. I'm going to know exactly. Oh my gosh. It's so huge.
I've never parked there. I've only Ubered, but I mean, Dodgers, I've done the parking thing and I've been like, never again. Never again. I don't park near a stadium. Yeah. That's an Uber experience for me every time. That in the airport.
Yeah, Staples isn't bad.
Yeah. Crypto.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
my apologies.
Please, to the crypto community. Yeah. They're about to have to sell that thing in about 2 days, so they better hold on to that naming rights while they can.
I bought some Crypto.com coin when they changed the name of the stadium, and it's not worth what it was. I blame LeBron. I blame him.
It's him. It's his leadership took down the crypto market.
It's Westbrook's fault that my investment's not going like I thought it would.
Yeah. Well, listen, we could talk crypto all day, but this is the part where we get into the stories. This is where we start the podcast. Let's go.
You're a number one fan, so you know the stats. Heard all the pundits talking, so you know enough of that. Maybe it's time to hear some crazy folks chat about all the other stuff that's behind the net. But maybe you don't care about playing ball, and you want to hear the gossip whether big or small. Maybe it's time to hear some funny folks talk about what goes on when the batter don't walk. Maybe you'd like to hear a little more. Maybe you don't even care about sports. Either way, go on and buckle up your shorts. Cause this is everything but the scores with Danny Jollis. Yeah, doggity.
And welcome back to the podcast. All right. First story. The legend of 4th of July every year. A legend emerges, which is Joey Chestnut. The greatest hot dog eater, maybe of all time.
I mean, is he better than Kobayashi?
We'll never know fully.
Hard hitting right off the top.
Because they'll. I like that you knew it though. I like that you were like, let's talk about Kobayashi. I did during the pandemic. That's the word. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember that pandemic thing?
Yeah, man.
During the pandemic, I went into the Kobayashi story where when he crashed a Nathan's hot dog contest because they kicked him out.
Yeah.
And then he just showed up one year.
He showed up one year. He submitted by video. And like he tried to do it like somewhere else, but like send in a like 10-minute video of him. Yeah.
He's still out there. But Joey Chestnut now runs the game. And every year you go, he can't up himself.
Yeah.
He can't one up himself. This year I think is one of the most iconic Nathan's hot dog performances of all time.
Why was he on crutches?
So first off, he shows up. Exactly. Shows up.
Was that hot dog related?
We don't know. We don't know what happened, but
Joey,
it
what
could have
happened to
been.
your leg? You know, the hot dog game is really.
Listen, I was
takes a toll
training.
on you.
He trains. This guy trains. Yeah, we don't know what happened, but he had a ruptured Achilles. That's a no joke injury.
Yeah.
So he was on crutches. So immediately everybody was like, flu game. This is the flu game. This is his flu game. Can you do it on crutches? Then
Do you have to stand? I
think that's the fastest way to digest, right? You got to go, right? You got to be like popping them in. Because remember, it's all, they eat hot dogs like insane people the way they do it, where it's like the water and then you dip the.
So there might have been a time where people sat at hot dog eating contests and then somebody stood up
I know
and
this.
started
whoa, whoa,
dominating,
whoa.
you know?
Let me say this with zero information
Okay.
about what I'm about to say next. This is a completely uneducated. I feel like Kobayashi changed the game.
Okay.
I think up until the Kobayashi run, it was just like fat guys who could eat a ton. And it was just how fast can you shove shit in your face.
Yeah.
And I feel like Kobayashi was the first to be like, no. This is a sport and I'm about to win, and changed it. You know, a Steph Curry to realize, you know, the 3-point game of being like, if I can shoot threes at an average where it's insane, I'm more valuable than any big man you have.
Wow.
I believe Kobayashi was the first to be like, I'm standing, I'm dipping,
So he's Reggie Miller.
Again, this is with zero information. This was not researched, what I'm saying. But in my mind, he changed. Now everybody
So he started
stands.
the dipping?
Which is so arguably disgusting. Dipping a dog in water.
Well, you dip
Well,
the
you
you
dip
dip the
the
bun.
bread.
You take the
That's-
dog out.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is worse.
Yes.
The dogs, you know, I've had boiled hot dogs. Sometimes the dog could come from water. But the bun in water is disgusting.
Terrible. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It makes me almost want them to have a straight up regular hot dog eating contest and then whatever this is. You know what I'm saying? Like you have one where you got to eat it like dog and bun, and then you have one where you dip the bun, you do the science, you stand up, you do whatever.
I got to tell you, great idea.
Yeah.
Genuinely good idea, because they did this year they had a chugging contest.
I saw that.
It was like pink
It
lemonade,
was
right?
disgusting.
Yeah.
That was the pink lemonade part. I was like, unnecessary.
Looks so refreshing.
Just
Well, I think that's what Nathan's has. I don't think there's multiple lemonades at Nathan's.
Oh, it's because of Nathan's.
Yeah, it's Big Nathan. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
though.
In my mind, I mean, Nathan's hot dogs, they really do. They gotta be just running that entire company being like, we got one thing.
Oh, yeah.
We got one fucking thing going for us. Because they're not even the top hot dog in the game.
No.
They're just the hot dog that does this.
They are pretty prevalent in New York. When I lived in New York, the C-town that I would go to had a Nathan's in the front. And because of this brand, I was like, I got to try it.
Where'd you live in New York?
2015 to 2019.
Okay.
And yeah, during that time, I was like, I
missed you. I left 2012, 2013.
Okay.
I started in New York, though,
Okay.
like an idiot. And then came out here. Ugh. To start comedy in New York. The dumbest thing you can do.
The greats started in New York that are from New York.
Yeah, but I just, every time, I'm like, man, to start in a smaller, like, where'd you start?
I started in Atlanta, actually Athens, Georgia.
Ooh,
And
see,
then
you
Atlanta,
dominate your
so
local
yeah,
scene.
yeah.
You just destroy those guys in like a year. You just get unlimited, and then you show up to New York and get your ass kicked. I just straight up, first time holding a microphone, stand-up comedy, New York City.
Yeah, no, that's
Just
tough. That's tough.
Just not an actor background. Horrific. I mean, just everything they hated. And then, you know, you rise above. You take your hits. Hey, you take your hits out there, and you come back stronger.
Come on.
So, ruptured Achilles. He shows up. He's hurting. He's not at his best. This year's competition is tough. And then, halfway through the hot dog eating contest, what is happening in every sport right now? A protester. And And this is, I believe, one of the most iconic performances of all time. This is mid hot dog. He trains all year for this one moment.
Yeah.
Mid hot dog eating contest. Boom. Come on.
Yo.
And then right back to hot dogs.
A quick choke.
Gone.
Get out of here, Darth Vader.
I think it's the greatest performance of all time.
That's wild. You know what the crazy thing is? My mom just sent me a text that said he only ate 63 hot dogs.
He did. He ate less this year, and people don't mention the fact that he was on one Achilles,
Yeah.
and midway through has to take that guy out, and then also there's no security apparently.
My mom did not mention that he choked out a person in a Darth Vader mask protesting.
He choked out the most dangerous Sith Lord
Yeah.
the Star Wars universe
The
has
guy
ever
that
seen.
chokes people without touching them.
And he did it in two. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody that fast get removed from a situation.
Yeah. No, that was a quick.
Because he comes
So-
in and then gone. And then the other guy, by the way, drink yanking him, is the guy who announces people.
Mythfield Death Star. What
Exposed
is that?
Mythfield Death Star. I looked it up. I do my research for the podcast. It's a pork farm. It's always animal rights. Every time it's animal rights activists have to, if any are listening to this podcast, because now I think it is the 700th version of this rant I've been on.
Yeah.
They got to stay away from sports. It doesn't work. It just hurts their brand. They always are protesting. They were the ones gluing themselves.
Gluing themselves to the court.
Which, as we point out on this show, doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
You're,
It's fun to watch Anthony Edwards see it. Because his face is always like, what is happening?
why?
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 Why they're always by themselves?
I know.
They never have a big group. They probably tickets to a playoff game are so expensive that they can't afford to have multiple people gluing themselves.
But it's like, if this is your big thing, it's like, because also it's like, all right, if we're going to do a protest, let's do a big, we've talked about this 100 times on this show.
Yeah.
If you're going to protest, if you're wanting to disrupt, there are so many ways to disrupt a sporting event. I have said for a while, noise. If you just had a bunch of air horns around the stadium, you are causing problems for 10 minutes probably before they get all the air horns out of there.
Flashlights.
Flashlights,
Mag lights.
laser lights.
Laser pointers. You know, there's a lot of ways that you can draw attention. Remember that dude that would dress up like a clown and put up scriptures on signs and stuff? And then,
No, who's that?
oh man, this was like in the 80s and maybe early 90s. There was a guy, he would wear a clown wig and he would have like different scriptures that he would have on a sign, and he would dance and stuff, and he would always get on camera. And then something happened. There was some kind of like, I don't know. It has like a dark ending to what happened to the dude.
You mean to tell me the clown guy with scriptures doesn't have a happy ending?
No.
That guy, it seems like
I don't remember how it ends, but
You're telling me
not
everything
good.
else in his life wasn't going straightforward good?
No, and then they had to put an end to that.
Oh yeah. That's one that like you gotta know if you're a place putting that guy on TV, you're gonna be like, hey, we're making fun of a guy that is not going to end well.
There's the guy that parachuted into the boxing match.
Fan man.
Yeah.
Fan man. One of the great moments. One of the best moments in sports history. Chaos. Yep. That's a great protest.
Yeah.
That truly caused chaos. Granted, that guy got chappelled. I mean, that guy got beat up, which is now what I call it when you protest and leave in a bot. I mean,
Yeah.
have you ever been attacked on stage?
I have not been attacked on stage. An old woman threatened to cut me one time,
Jesus.
which was her daughter flashed me while I was on stage, and then she threatened to cut me, and I was like, I didn't tell her to do that. Like she's the drunk one.
Yeah.
You know, like be mad at her. Like she embarrassed you, not me. But yeah,
The amount of times that I've been yelled at on stage where I'm like, because it's like it always goes the same way where it's like they behave terribly, and then I'll finally be like, "Hey, knock it off," and then it'll be like, "Why are you being rude?" And it's like you were the first thing. I didn't start this. I've never been attacked on stage, but I have been yelled at 100 times and had just weird audience interactions. I'm pretty sweet, so nobody really like I feel like I feel like the bigger you are, the more likely you are to have somebody be like, "What'd you say?"
I did have someone chase me one time.
That feels
But
close.
I had a
That feels close to what I was talking about.
I did have a wireless mic. So I was able to like talk the whole time
fucking hilarious.
while running.
That's awesome.
So funny.
Yeah.
Live report. Rob Haze here. I'm being chased by an audience member.
Why was he chasing you?
It was a dude. Well, first of all, the show was at a place they didn't have a stage. And so
Love that.
violence would happen there. Like I remember another comic got slapped there.
Is this in New York or Atlanta?
This is in Atlanta. But it was like a room. It was kind of a speakeasy. Like sometimes you go in there and people be smoking weed. Sometimes you go in there and they'd have like illegal gambling or something. It would just be all kind of stuff. So this guy, he would hang out there and do magic tricks. And I was on stage, and then I guess he got mad at me making fun of like him doing magic or whatever. So then he started this magician started chasing me. But I have the mic, so I'm still making fun of him and just like, hey, y'all remember when you were a kid and you would do this move and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was wild.
That's
wild.
crazy.
And it was on my 23rd birthday, so I'm like, it's my birthday. This dude is ruining my set on my birthday.
The crowd was on your side.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Someone grab him? Or he just gave out? He just gave up chasing you?
Yeah.
That's so sad on his end.
He's like,
To make
right.
the choice to be like, I'm gonna beat this kid up, and then to have to be like, can't get him.
Yeah.
All right, I guess he gets to just keep making fun of me. He's too fast and funnier than me. Ooh, that's a tough way to go down. And you're a magician. Tough life.
Tough out here.
You don't want to be. You don't want to. I make a lot of fun of magicians. My new special has a significant chunk making fun of magicians. I actually like a good. Have you been to Magic Castle?
I have not. I would love to go.
You got to go to Magic Castle.
Yeah.
If you want to have a good magic experience, you'll leave Magic Castle and you'll be like, for those of you that don't know magic, Magic Castle. Usually we say for those of you that don't know sports when we do something that like because a lot of our listeners and watchers do not actually watch a ton of sports.
Okay, so they're getting their sports from
This
you.
is what I bring them into the stories. That's fun. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
But for those of you who don't know Magic Castle is a place out here that has a really great magic, and it's a castle, and that's really all you need to know. Mm-hmm. But
invite only, right?
Invite only, but
that's why I haven't been there.
You can pull it off.
I haven't been invited.
You can get yourself invited.
Okay.
I tell everyone, I'm like, if you want to get yourself invited to Magic Castle, it is not a particularly hard. It's like getting into the cellar in New York City, where it's like tickets are hard to come by, but like, do you know a comic? Someone can get you in.
All right.
That's my stance on Magic Castle. The important thing here is Joey Chestnut with the greatest performance. Also, by the way, worth mentioning, he ate 63 hot dogs. The second place was 47.5. So it isn't like he's close.
He could have choked longer.
He could have choked that guy for much longer.
Stomps in there with that boot.
He went right back in. Yeah, I do think when people talk about the number of this year, because I think it is a dip year for him, it should be mentioned on one leg, choked a guy out mid hot dog eating contest.
Is it misogynist to have women doing the numbers?
There's also women competing.
But no. But I'm saying only women are like doing the counting.
Is it only women? There's a guy with hot dogs right there. Hang on, let's watch for a hot second. There's a guy with hot dogs over there. So that's just. Should we
have some male representation?
Oh, there's another guy.
Oh, in the corner.
Oh, the stormtrooper doesn't even get taken out at all. I haven't heard anything about the stormtrooper.
Wow.
Well, he got taken out right. No, he's just rogue. He just gets to stay. Wow, I didn't even notice the stormtrooper. Does the stormtrooper anything even happen? Does anything even happen to the stormtrooper? I get this off.
You choke out the black member of the the Empire, and you got this white stormtrooper in the back.
And
he
that's
gets to stay. That's messed up, man.
And that's what we need to be talking about.
Yeah,
that's what we need to be talking about.
This one's voice sounds like James Earl Jones, so I'm going to choke him out.
It's disgusting. It makes me say, this is a classic white person response where I just immediately agree. I'm like, you're so right. It is a problem. Thank you for saying it.
Forget that they're clones of a guy named Django that we're not sure.
Listen, if you tell me it's a problem, it's a problem. All right, and I'm upset, and I should have done more. All right, let's do the next story. Oh, hey there. During this break in the action, I just wanted to throw out there that this is the perfect opportunity to write a comment or subscribe, or if you're listening, you can just give us a rating and whatever you want. Just this is the moment where during this break, since we don't have a Patreon or anything, this is the moment to do something like that. It'd mean a lot. All right, back to the action. Hulk Hogan ran for president?
Yeah.
I do not remember that time.
In a post Jesse the Body Ventura world.
Sure. And
Hulk
Schwarzenegger.
Hogan
There was a run.
Threw his hat in the ring to be president. Around the time Trump was first flirting with being president in 2000.
Did you ever think we'd live in a time where it's like, I wish Hulk Hogan.
I wish Hulk Hogan.
Wish Hulk Hogan had won. Little did we know. I feel like
Hogan knows best.
That show. I watched that show. I thought that show was so cool.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Nick Hogan, your dad's Hulk Hogan.
Nick Hogan. Troublemaker.
Brooke Hogan.
Brooke Hogan got into wrestling for a hot second.
Really?
Yeah, she couldn't quite do it.
Dang.
Didn't quite work out for her. But
Didn't she have a song? Was she like singing or something?
Yes, and she has one of the most cringy morning talk show live performances of all time. She has, I will potentially try to bring it up in the next break because it is brutal. It's like she tried a lot of things, Brooke. She really gave it her all in a lot of different areas. As did everyone. Everyone in that family tried a lot of different things.
Shout out to the Balea family.
Shout out to the Baleas.
Like once you become a Hogan, that's a choice.
Yes.
You could just be a Balea, but
yes.
You're like, no, I'm.
And all of them fluctuated.
Yeah.
All three of them went from like, I'm Brooke Balea, I'm Brooke Hogan.
I'm Brooke Hogan.
Wait a second, I'm going back to Balea. Now I'm going back to Hogan. Like they just every time they really make a run at it, you'd see them go for it, and then it was tough. But I remember that there's something in there. I believe there's a moment on that show where Hulk Hogan said he got a call from his agent, and they were like, do you want this company wants you to like be the spokesperson for a thing? Do you want like this Vitamix thing or this grill? And he didn't answer his call, and they called him back, and they were like, the grill actually got taken by Foreman, so you'll get this Vitamix thing. And it's like, he's like, that's a $100 million mistake that I made. He like mentions it offhand during that thing, and I remember always sticking me being like, wow, that's why you answer your calls. Wow. That's why when anytime my reps call me, I'm always like, yeah. And then they're like, it's nothing. Of course, you have nothing going on.
Yeah,
like,
we have bad news.
Yeah, it's always bad. Yeah, it's always like, now, did you say, last time we spoke, I can't remember, did you want us to do things? Or, because sorry, did you say it? And I'm like, oh yeah, I told you guys if you could just do one thing. They're like, oh yeah. All right, we're going to get on that. We're going to figure that out. It's hard. Are you posting? Are you posting a lot on social media? Mm-hmm. We need to post. That's my interaction with my reps every time. At least my old ones. And we go on to our next story. And it's a segment that we've been doing. We did it last show. We're going to do it every show, I think, at this point until it ends. Okay. Have you been keeping up with how shitty the World Cup's going to be?
Ooh, I have not. I don't even know where it's going to be.
Well, and you wouldn't know. Because it's the nation of Qatar.
Okay. That's with a Q?
That is with a Q.
Heck yeah.
But not with a U. Did you know that's legal? I didn't know that was illegal.
Did you know that's legal?
I didn't know that was legal. I was told as a kid that that's an illegal thing to have a Q and no U. Yeah, QATAR. Yep, they are doing it there last time to catch you up, to catch people who maybe didn't see the last episode. Last time we covered the fact that they are out of hotels. They don't have enough hotels, so people are going to have to stay in tents. So $160 a night to have a tent in Qatar.
Is Ja Rule involved in this World Cup?
It's probably. He is probably involved. There are people are staying in tents. Then, of course, we also covered the fact that you're not allowed to have sex at this World Cup. That
If
is
you're a player,
anybody, if you are not married, player, person visiting to watch the World Cup, if you are not married, if you were to have sex with somebody else at the World Cup, you face 7 years in jail in Qatar.
what? But then no one has sex with you in jail, right?
I can't imagine they're cool with that. I can't imagine Qatar is cool with it if you're behind bars. I got to imagine you're in big trouble. So we covered that last time. Now it's time to talk about the new news. No alcohol. No alcohol at this year's World Cup at all. Keep in mind, I'm starting to enter a place of like, we're about to have the English hooligans enter this world.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance this goes south very quickly. Yeah. Like, I think this could be a real incident that I don't think... I want to kind of be on the record of like, I think things are going to get crazy. Soccer fans do not take well to rules.
They don't take well to rules. Are they allowing vuvuzelas?
The Vuvuzela.
Vuvuzela.
What a time that was.
Yeah.
Those of you that don't know this sports thing, South Africa, when South Africa had the World Cup, was it Africa? Who hosted it that year? It was Africa.
I'm not sure.
I believe it was the Africa hosted the World Cup. Great World Cup.
Yeah.
Really well done. I'm sure bankrupt 1,000 nations, but but they did a great job. I remember.
Yeah.
Really, but I guess they have these stupid horns down there. Every game just had this underneath the noise was just and you just couldn't fathom that was a real thing. You had to every game. Horrible. No vuvuzelas. I don't know about vuvuzelas. You're not allowed to drink.
Not allowed to drink.
Fans can only have beer upon arrival and when leaving the stadium, but it won't be served during the match or inside the stadium bowl. And also, it also is not. You're not allowed to bring your own in. And again, it'll be massive prison sentences if you do break these rules. So I'm sure nobody will break the rules.
Well, they don't have hotels.
They don't have hotels.
And they have these strict rules. So maybe you don't get a hotel. You bring your alcohol in. You get hammered. Then you get arrested. Now you got a place to stay.
Smart. Okay, now we're thinking.
Yeah.
My prediction is, I think the go-to move now is going to be people getting planes, flying in day of the game drunk.
Okay.
Landing.
Getting lit on the plane.
Going to the game, getting right back on the plane.
Yeah.
Flying out of the country.
Yeah.
That's I think that's the only way this makes any sense.
Go to duty free.
You're not allowed to bring anything in from duty free. That was part of the article.
No, you go
duty free specifically.
You go to duty free.
It was literally part of the article.
You drink
they were like
duty free on the plane.
Oh yes.
You don't even wait on the flight attendant to ask you what you want. You're straight out the bottle on the plane.
Yes.
Then when the plane lands,
I've never seen somebody do it, but that's always been a thought of mine. Every time I walk through duty free, I'm like, if I just brought a bottle of whiskey on this plane, what happens next?
Yeah.
They can't do anything. I bought it at duty free, so I just get to get just hammered on a plane. They can't allow it.
I mean, they don't. Some flight attendants try to help you out or hook you up, and
I've been hooked up
they
before.
don't cut you off. You know.
Oh, well, every time I get upgraded,
if you're in first class,
yeah, I'm upgraded, and they'll chuck you some money, and you're like, they'll chuck you. If you give like a little they'll give you whatever you want.
Yeah,
it's the best part about flying first class.
I've had that happen. Not I've never flown first class, but I was just like, hey, I just seemed nice, and there was other shitty people. And it was clear that the flight attendant was like, I'll get you as fucked up as you want.
Oh,
yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
If you fly enough, you'll get upgraded to first class. I don't know if I've never paid for first class. I know that. There's a couple times I've been flown first class.
Yeah.
2 events. Every time. A ridiculous time.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
crazy.
so different.
It's so different.
It's a different flying experience. And yeah, you drink so much, and then you've been on a private plane.
I've never been on a private plane.
Did it one time. Never want to do again.
Yeah,
Scary.
not to Qatar.
No. I don't know who's going this World Cup, but I think people will.
People will.
People will. Yeah, no alcohol is the new news coming in the World Cup. Yes.
If the rules get too strict, I mean, at a certain point, is there a committee that can be like?
Well, so the committee famously all got arrested and fined for taking bribes that allowed this World Cup to happen in Qatar.
Never mind. Never mind. I'm barking up the wrong tree. Never mind.
So FIFA is famously corrupt. Mm-hmm. I think the one thing that's going to be interesting is governments potentially having to negotiate with Qatar to get people out of jail who get arrested. I think that is going to be a unique element to this. When inevitably, I'm saying English soccer fans, but for the record, name a country. People are crazy about soccer. Yeah. Americans, like our little hooligan group. What they have some stupid name I always forget. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? They have some like name for like the American group. But either way, they're gonna get crazy, and it's like when someone inevitably gets arrested for having sex. Put aside drinking, just for having sex. What happens? How do we negotiate them out of jail?
What base is illegal?
That's a great question.
You know, like is third base against second base? You know, heavy petting. Can you pet heavily?
I'm assuming we're going
off. Not go to jail.
So I'm assuming we're going off God rules here. I'm assuming that's going to be the base of it, right? Is what God. I'm assuming this is a country built on laws of what God would want.
Okay.
So if we're going off God rules, I think second base is probably as far as you're going to be allowed to go.
So no soaking. Well.
No what?
Soaking? Have you heard about that?
No, what's soaking?
In the Mormon community, it was a big thing where it's like the back and forth motion is the sex. So people would just insert and then just lay there. And that's called soaking. Because the act of it is what the sex is.
This is my issue. Every time I talk to somebody who's really religious, they're always like, but we do this. It's like all these ways around. Like all my Jewish friends who like would keep kosher and would like observe Sabbath. So when you observe Sabbath, you're not allowed to turn on any lights, blah, blah, blah. So they'd be like, so before going to Sabbath, we turn on every TV, we turn on every light. We have like a system that allows light. It's like, so you're just cheating your way around the rules. Like you're not really, what are we doing? Yeah, that's insane. I've never heard of soaking before, but really? I'm into it.
Yeah.
It's scary. I've done it once, and it's kind of like...
Why?
You want to... Well, the girl was like, I want to feel what it's like, but I don't want to have sex. So now it's just like a thing where it's like... I kind of want to move, but I feel like if I move, that's a violation.
Right.
So now I'm just in here.
Yeah. Well, and then...
then it's like...
But being a good... But
if she moves...
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop her.
Right.
But then she didn't move, and then, we didn't talk about it. It just...
Well...
Just so...
But everybody was happy at the end.
I guess.
As long as it worked out, I guess. So maybe I can't imagine soaking. So no chance soaking is allowed. That I'll promise you.
If you get caught soaking, you can't. It's hard to be like.
It's gonna be hard to be like.
We would not.
If you
this
play
is not
that,
sex. Okay.
I was staying still. Yeah. Staying still.
This is a body hug.
If you look at the Bible, you will clearly see the motion is actually the offense. Yeah, that's not going to work out. I don't even think third base will be allowed. I think second base is as far as you'll be allowed to go.
You hear that MC search? You're not allowed.
This is my off thing. But also, by the way, this is every week a new thing comes out. So
damn,
it's been. I mean, it's going to be a centerfold to this podcast, and now becoming a thing of. And what happens when inevitably the soccer fans go nuts and try to kill the. It's going to be a whole thing. It's exciting. It's exciting times. It's the kind of things I live for. All right, let's do some quick stories. During this break in the action, if you have a story idea, send it to me. You can email it to me. You can message me on Instagram. You can message me on Twitter. You can message me on all the ways to send it to me. Send me ideas. I'll shout you out. I like it. I don't know everything. Send me ideas. All right, back to the show. All right. We just had a long discussion about soaking in here. We all are all disturbed. And now we move on to quick hits. Did you see Aaron Rodgers' new tattoo?
No.
Check this thing out. Get ready for this. It's the most insane tattoo I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, wait. I've seen this. I didn't know this was him.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is going down a very mystical path these days.
That's cool that he got Kyrie Irving to draw a tattoo for him.
For those of you who don't know sports, Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback, and Kyrie Irving is a basketball player who is famous for having every bad opinion on almost everything. A flat earther, most famously, but also anti-vax, everything. He's the one who, if you follow his show, he refused to play if there was a vaccine. He would not get the vaccine. But then, frustratingly so, then actually became very effective at his protesting because the rules got so stupid in New York City that at one point he wasn't allowed to play in a game, but he was allowed to go to a game. So he bought tickets to a game he wasn't allowed to play in and sat courtside. It was an embarrassing moment for the city of New York City. It was a humiliating moment for all involved.
This is so nuts. It's a constellation, and then there's like a circle, there's an eye.
Go to Aaron Rodgers' Instagram if you're listening. Those of you watching, we'll have it up on the screen, and or it'll always be in the comments.
There's two lions, two male lions. Mm-hmm. One is got his mouth open to be like growling or screaming on the left side, and then on the right side, it's like one with its mouth closed.
Yes.
And then there's a circle underneath with a horizon and just water. The wild part is the caption says "first tattoo." Which is like, you come out the gate with this. What's next?
It's a tough I mean, that is a intricate, I imagine, incredibly heavy meaning tattoo. Like, I don't know what it's about. I mean, I can get parts of it. The eye I get. Lions, I imagine that's a power thing. But people aren't following Aaron Rodgers' descent into the mythical world. He is very into mythical stuff these days. He loves it. But it is one of the worst tattoos I've ever seen in my entire life. And I like Aaron Rodgers. That's a bad tattoo. But if it makes you happy.
Yeah, it's... you think he does ayahuasca?
Yes. He did, he talked about it on a show. He does something even heavier. He does like...
2CB.
Look up
DMT.
like cleanse, like Aaron Rodgers cleanse. He did something I've never heard of, where it's like you shit yourself for like 2 days. You like get naked and like shit yourself for 2 days. He does.
Panchakarma, is that what it's called?
That might be what it's called. It's something. It's really something I was like, I think we live in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
I feel like we know almost everything. I've never heard of this one.
It's a 5-step detox process that cleanses the body of all wanted waste out of the body. Administration of drugs that induce a severe spell of vomiting and clean the upper gut, forced diarrhea, medicated enema.
What?
You do something. You cleanse your blood. You cleanse. So it basically it's like a 5-step, and you're cleansing different parts of your body. So they have different names, but one is for the gut, one is for one's diarrhea. The second one's a butt, so a lot of butt, and then there's a nose one, and then there's a blood one. Laxative therapy, many days of enemas, lots of yoga though, and therapeutic vomiting, which I don't think can be real.
This is a man who will not take the vaccine because he does not trust the science. And
he's got every science on his arm. He's got life science. He's got astronomy. He's got physics. This is crazy.
It's crazy. It's one of the... It's one of the... Two old men.
For those of you just listening to the podcast,
that was us. That was us. Both of us moving about 5 feet each.
Yeah. But that's what Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow do on The Old Man. They just hold.
I haven't watched it. Is it good?
Oh, it's great. It's great.
All right. Well, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about sports. Here's a good one. Do you see Freddie Freeman fire his agent over not telling him the real deal that was his contract?
No.
So this was just a quick fun one, but Freddie Freeman played for the Atlanta Braves for forever.
Yep.
left them last year to play for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And what some consider kind of surprising, because he was very openly like, I want to stay in Atlanta. I want to stay in Atlanta. And then the story he was told, it was like they just weren't able to make a competitive offer with what the Dodgers offered him. Mm-hmm. And so he comes out this week. He like returns to Atlanta. They give him a very nice, welcome back. It's a very sweet thing. For those of you who don't watch sports, when a player returns to a place that they didn't leave on negative terms.
Yeah.
It's like everybody applauds. It's thankful. It's very nice. It's like you no longer play for us, so it's almost like you can just appreciate the athlete. Mm-hmm. And he is weeping. Like, weeping in a way where I was like, you don't see a lot of people weep like this.
Yeah, yeah. Not since No Sean Marino national anthem with the Broncos. You ever seen that?
Oh, yes.
Huge tears.
Oh, great meme.
Yeah.
Great meme. This guy, they were singing the national anthem of a playoff game, I think.
Yeah.
It might have been a regular season game. Either way, it's a standard national anthem. There's nothing that about this national anthem that was in any way. But they caught him on camera, I mean, dripping tears in a way that, like, if you saw it in a sketch. If you saw
it on a sketch show, you'd be like, man, that's hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah. That's funny that you would have that many. He is dripping tears. He's like that, yes. Similar. Just so emotional. A couple days later, he fires his agent. And it comes out, his agent never told him about the Braves' final offer.
Oh, no.
So he just went, because it wasn't the same amount of money, so he just didn't tell him. And I guess he had figured out when back in Atlanta that is what had happened. And that's why he was so emotional. Fired his agent. I've never heard of a situation like that. Agent just straight up.
That's nuts. His agent wanted to be out here. His agent was tired of going to Cobb County and tired of going to, Truist Park in Atlanta, and was like, they didn't call.
Yeah.
We didn't hear about the grill.
Man, they said it wasn't the same thing. It's wild.
That's wild.
I've had agents do shitty things, but I've never had an agent just straight up not tell me about a thing.
I wear a lot of Braves hats because I'm from Atlanta and I'm a Braves fan. And then yesterday I had a Braves hat, like 3 people asked me about Freddie Freeman. But I didn't know this story.
This is the story.
And so I was just like, yeah, man. I mean, we're doing fine without him. Like, I did not know. Damn. That's so messed up.
Yeah. It's messed. It's so wrong.
He's got to get Lamar Jackson to be his agent.
Yeah. What's Lamar Jackson's agent doing? I don't know if
he's his own agent.
Oh, yeah.
And he hasn't gotten a contract yet.
It's getting scary. It's the Richard Sherman move.
I feel like they're bullying him because he's his own people.
People do not like. This is now a new thing in sports. This is not the first. Richard Sherman did it for himself, where he negotiated his own contract.
He went to Stanford, though.
He did go to Stanford. Richard Sherman's very smart. Also, I have said many times, and we're back. I feel like I should actually keep the audio going in moments like that. That's stupid of me. Damn it. What can you do? Anyway, all I was saying was Richard Sherman said he had this rant where he was like, people say thug, which is the new N-word.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
It was like I was just one of those thoughts where I was like, oh, that is so true. Mm-hmm. He's a brilliant person, but he negotiated his own contract that was all incentive-based.
Ooh.
And he bet on himself, and he ended up having a couple great seasons, and so he's made a lot of money. Now, a lot of people say that deal is also potentially very stupid, and he could have made a very dumb deal. It was like no guarantees.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is negotiating for himself. Other people are starting to, and I feel like a lot of agents are being like, go hard on them because they want to like prove their job.
Yeah, yeah.
Either way, I'll tell you what doesn't happen when you're your own agent. This shit with Freddie Freeman.
That's true. That's true.
All right, let's go. Let's say goodbye. Oh, hey, during this break in the action, I have nothing else to say. I just want to give us a break in the action. Thank you for watching. Keep subscribing, rating. All right, let's go back. And welcome back. What an episode. Rob, thank you for being here, buddy.
Thanks for having me. This is so much fun.
This is great. It's great. It's fun. It's fun. It's like we have a lot of people on who don't know sports, but it is very fun when somebody knows the fucking references.
Knows competitive eating, you know?
You knew competitive eating, but also every one of the stories I feel like you knew and yet didn't actually know the story.
Yeah, no, I didn't know about Qatar at all.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Well, Qatar, Everybody needs to know. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah. This fall I'll be on Sherman Showcase on AMC.
You guys filmed
IFC.
a new season?
Yeah, we filmed a new season.
Let's go.
I have a podcast called The Inconsistent Podcast with Rob Haze. And watch the ESPYs.
Yeah, when is the ESPYs?
The ESPYs is on the 20th of July.
Wow.
Hosted by
So that's close.
Stephen Curry, yeah.
Hosted by Curry?
Yeah.
You just talking to Curry? You hanging out with Curry on a daily
Not
basis?
yet, but you
will
know,
get to.
It will happen.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best environment to meet an athlete too, where it's like they kind of need you.
Yeah.
So they have
yeah.
to get to know you.
Yeah.
It's so dope. That's such a cool gig.
It's gonna be fun.
That's so dope. For me, nothing that exciting. This weekend I'm doing a bunch of shows around LA, and then I'm about to really have a bunch of dates, but I'll post about them in a little bit. But for now, just share the podcast, write a comment, subscribe, do the things that you know how to do. Noah, anything from you?
Just YouTube special on the Don't Tell website and my own YouTube.
That's
special.
right.
Yes.
That's
Ooh,
right.
Congrats.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
I go Rob. That kind of enthusiasm we don't usually get, and I think that we need that. We need that.
As me and Danny had off before, people can be very mean.
Yeah. And now we conclude every show with one thing. It's called 3 Shots of Glory.
Okay.
You get 3 shots from the couch.
Oh.
To the hoop.
All right.
Good attitude towards it. All right, first shot. He's up. Oh, but a lot to like about that shot. Take a second.
Okay.
First shot was already up. He came very close. A lot of confidence. Really liking his form. Oh. This is very impressive. And I also want to go on record. Last episode, I did it and didn't. I hit it almost every time. I did not hit it last time. Final shot. This is the one. So many things to like.
Damn.
We'll see you next week.
You're a #1 fan, so you know the stats. Heard all the pundits talking, so you know enough of that. Maybe it's time to hear some crazy folks chat about all the other stuff that's behind the net. But maybe you don't care about playing ball, and you want to hear the gossip whether big or small. Maybe it's time to hear some funny folks talk about what goes on when the batter don't walk. Maybe you'd like to hear a little more. Maybe you don't even care about sports. Either way, go on and buckle up your shorts. Cause this is everything but the scores with Danny Jollis. Yeah, doggity.